folks, I'm Esther.
I'm Nick.
And we're Fauchamatic Off-Grid. Before anyone forgets the season of New Year's resolutions or the time of winter planning for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, we wanted to do a video on the best decisions we've made in our 3.5 years of homesteading. This is basically a Q&A, except it's just all one question. People did ask us this question and we thought that's a whole video. If you haven't met us before, we've been homesteading for 3.5 years. We are off-grid in the sense of not connected to the power grid in any way. We've lived in a yurt for most of that time. We're now in a timber frame cabin, which isn't quite finished, but still is pretty wonderful. And we're on just over 3 acres, and we're the parents of 3 kids. So the best decisions that we've made in our 3.5 years of homesteading. Here we go.
So we've limited it to 3 of our best decisions. We've made more than 3 good decisions, though, I would say.
A few more than 3. Yeah.
Right, but we're limiting the conversation to 3 good decisions we've made. And the first, probably the first thing that really happened for us, and the first on our list, is the decision to live in a yurt. So this was something that was suggested to me by my brother. I had never heard of a yurt before, but I looked it up and I thought, I can probably make one of those. And it was something that we were able to build off-site. It traveled in a small kit and it went up in just a couple of days. So all of those things made it attractive to us for quick shelter while we well, it turned out that it was while we figured out what in the heck we were doing out here. But the idea was while we built our house, we'd have a place to stay. A lot of people do travel trailers or some version of a tent or camper or something like that. But the yurt just seemed like one big open room that we could do anything with.
I think we owe the yurt a lot for our good spirits. I mean, we also just are people with positive attitudes. Or at least half of us have people with positive attitudes.
I would say 4/5 of my family has a great attitude.
Most of the time, 5/5 of us have a great attitude. But also the yurt is a nice space, especially if decorated well and with some thought to how to use the space. The round room is calming, and there's something kind of special about that shape. You're connected to nature, but not so connected to it that you aren't warm enough. I don't think I'd want to be in a yurt right now, not only because our kids are just bigger every year, but also because it's a wicked winter.
Right, we're in our worst winter out here, and so it was, I don't know, it was great timing to get out of the yurt. There's just more snow. I don't know that it's been significantly colder, but maybe we just got lucky for those first 3 years in the yurt.
So that's our great decision, the yurt. Great decision number 1.
The other great decision that kind of stands out, and it's ongoing, is the decision to collect and maintain what we're calling the boneyard. The yurt was built largely out of reclaimed materials, pallets for the deck, and just 2x framing and stuff. And after I was done collecting for the yurt, I just kind of kept going. I would get things on like little demolition jobs and remodel stuff and just free Craigslist stuff, and I just collect it and put it in a pile and try and protect it. And we've built a ton of stuff out of those piles. And then I started adding to it with the lumber that I would mill here on the property. And now if I need to do a project that's mostly out of wood, that's what's mostly in the boneyard, I have it. There it is. So if you can collect it and maintain it, protect it, it's like printing money.
We might not have either bathroom doors or our hat rack if we didn't have all that stuff sitting right outside the door, partly because it's tight at this time of year financially, and also the roads are really bad. So getting a project done, the chances are just a whole lot higher if the materials are readily available.
Absolutely. And I just like working that way. I like having sort of a lot of options in front of me. And I think of things as I get the material. I sort of earmark it for this or that. So it just works well with the way I build.
So that's good decision number 2, that we are scavengers, proud scavengers.
The third good decision that we've made has to be the thing that we're sitting on now. It's our rocket mass heater. It was something that appealed to us very early on in designing our home, mostly because the work of gathering wood to burn is just a lot of work, and it takes up a lot of space, takes up a lot of time, and it's a lot of just use of material, carbon and everything that just seemed unnecessary. So when we learned about a better way to heat with wood, then that really stuck with us, and we actually got around to making one.
Although it involved educating ourselves on some principles that we didn't necessarily have knowledge of, particularly the earth building aspect of it is not something either of us had any experience with. So it seemed a little out of reach for a while, but we committed to it, and that is a good decision.
Absolutely. And we're already seeing the benefits of it. We just don't need as much wood. We filled up the woodshed only, I don't know, maybe half as much as we normally do before winter hit. And I can't imagine that we ever see the back of the woodshed this year.
Mm-hmm. It's a big difference.
The other thing that I wanted to make sure of, in our first 3 years here, we didn't cut down any trees with the express purpose of burning them. Mm-hmm. So everything that we had been using was deadfall or offcuts from our lumber mill, and I wanted to keep it that way. And I was not always going to be in such a productive lumber producing time, so I really wanted to cut our usage in order to not have to, eventually over time clear our land just to stay here, because the trees were a big reason why we're here. That we like the forest environment, and so we're going to try and maintain a lot of the big trees here. So really, I guess it came down to planning. Those were all projects that we put a lot of thought into, and that we did the research, we took our time with, and really thought about how it fits in. The boneyard, I guess, was really just part of me following us, but the other two were really a result of some careful study, which we don't always do.
I would also add that they're old technology. I think it's easy to think of the rocket mass heater as kind of a newfangled idea, and those words, rocket mass heater, I don't think have been in use kind of in that arrangement for a long time. But certainly the idea of the masonry heater is an old idea that has been used for a long time with success. So I do think that we, in the yurt and the rocket mass heater, we were able to access designs that have been proven over time and have a kind of elegance to them in terms of function and form and function, I guess. that really fit with our motives as homesteaders. And that's probably why those are two decisions that we feel really satisfied with and really proud of.
Right, and I think the reason why at least the yurt and the rocket mass heater appealed to us was that we wanted to become producers of our own goods. So rather than just picking up a camper or picking up a wood stove, we wanted to have our hands in it. And so I guess in turn the boneyard is a way to that for us, a way to produce for ourselves.
And also in conclusion, I would add that not everything that we've made ourselves has been such an elegant design. Not everything that we've made ourselves has been attempting to replicate such an elegant design. Although certainly Nick's ability to combine elements in various media, I mean, steel or wood or whatever else, is definitely up to the task most of the time.
But my patience rarely is. So we get ourselves in a fix sometimes when it seems like we need to do it quickly. But I don't know, those were the ones we took our time with.
So it's something that we've actually discussed for our 2017, that we want to make sure and not do quick fixes. We want to really look for those elegant solutions that have worked over centuries and take the time to research them and execute them correctly. So those are our 3 best decisions that we've done homesteading our first 3.5 years, and we hope that someone finds that helpful and do all the good things that we have done and none of the bad things that we have done.
Do as we say and not as we do.
Exactly. So that you'll have a better time than we did. And we wish you all an awesome 2017.
Thanks for watching.